If you shall chance, Camillo, to visit Bohemia on the like occasion whereon my services are now on foot, you shall see, as I've said, great difference between our Bohemia and your Sicilia.
I think this coming summer the King of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation which he justly owes him.
Wherein our entertainment shall shame us, we will be justified in our loves, for indeed...
I beseech you.
Verily, verily, I speak it in the freedom of my knowledge. We cannot with such magnificence, in so rare, I know not what to say. We will give you sleepy drinks, that your senses unintelligent of our insufficience may, though they cannot praise us, as little accuse us.
Well, you pay a great deal too dear for what's given freely.
Believe me, I speak as my understanding instructs me, and as mine honesty puts it to utterance.
Well, Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. I mean, they were trained together in their childhoods, and there rooted betwixt them such an affection which cannot choose but branch now. Since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society, their encounters, well, though not personal, have been royally attorneyed with interchanges of gifts, of letters, loving embassies, that have seemed to be together, though absent, shook hands over a vast, embraced, as it were, from the ends of opposed winds. The heavens continue their loves.
I think there is not in the world either malice or matter to alter it. You have an unspeakable comfort of your young Prince Mamillius. It is a gentleman of the greatest promise that ever came into my note.
I very well agree with you in the hopes of him. It is a gallant child, one that indeed physics the subject, makes old hearts fresh. They that went on crutches ere he was born desire yet their life to see him a man.
Would they else be content to die?
Yes, if there were no other excuse why they should desire to live.
If the king had no son, they would desire to live on crutches till he had one.
9 changes of the watery star have been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without a burthen. Time as long again would be fined up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should, for perpetuity, go hence in debt. And therefore, like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with one, we thank you, many thousands more that go before it.
Stay your thanks a while and pay them when you part.
Sir, that's tomorrow. I am questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence, that may blow no sleeping winds at home, make us say this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tie your royalty.
We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
No longer stay.
1 7 night longer.
Very sooth, tomorrow.
But we'll part the time between us then. In that I'll no gainsaying.
Press me not, beseech you so. There's no tongue that moves. None in the world, so soon as yours could win me. So it should now, were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it. My affairs do even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me. My stay to you a charge and trouble. To say both, farewell, brother.
Tongue-tied, our queen, speak you.
I had thought, sir, to have held my peace till you have drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him all in Bohemia as well. This satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. Say this to him, he's beat from his best ward.
Well said, Hermione.
To tell he longs to see his son, were strong. But let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet of your royal presence I'll adventure the borrow of a week. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner, not as a guest. Then you shall pay your fees when you depart and save your thanks. What say you?
Your guest, then, madam. To be your prisoner should import offending, which is, for me, less easy to commit than you to punish.
Not your jailer, then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of your lord's tricks and mine when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then?
We were, fair queen. 2 lads that thought there was no more behind, but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal.
Was not my lord the verier wag of the 2?
We were twinned lambs that did frisk in the sun and bleat the one at the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued in that life our weak spirits ne'er been higher reared with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven boldly not guilty, and the imposition cleared hereditary house.
By this we gather you have tripped since.
Oh, my most sacred lady, temptations have since been born to us. For in those unfledged days was my wife a girl, your precious self had not then crossed the eyes of my young playfellow.
Grace to boot, of this make no conclusion, lest you say your queen and I are devils. Yet go on. The offences we have made you do will answer, if you first sinned with us, and that with us you did continue fault, and that you slip not with any but with us.
Is he won yet?
He'll stay, my lord.
At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never?
Well, never but once.
What? Have I but twice said well? When was before? I prithee, crams me with praise and make tame fat things. One good deed dying tongueless slaughters 1,000 waiting upon that. Our praises are our wages. You may ride with one soft kiss 1,000 furlongs, ere with spur we beat an acre. But here to the goal. My last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was the first? It has an elder sister, or I mistake you. Oh, that her name were Grace. But once before I have spoke to the purpose. When? Nay, let me have't. I long.
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap thyself my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever.
'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. Once for ever earned me a royal husband, the other for some time a friend.
Too hot. Too hot. To mingle friendship far as mingling bloods. I have tremor cordis on me. My heart dances, but not for joy. Not joy. This entertainment may a free face put on, derive a liberty from heartiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent may, I grant. But to be paddling palms and pinching fingers as now they are, making practiced smiles, and, as in a looking glass, and to sigh as 'twere the more to the dear, oh, that is entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Ah, Mamillius! Art thou my boy?
Aye, my good lord.
Effects. Why, what's my borecock? What? Hast smutched thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Come, Captain. We must be neat. Not neat, but cleanly, Captain. And yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat. Still virginaling upon his palm. How now, you wanton calf? Art thou my calf?
Yes, if you will, my lord.
Thou want'st a rough passion, the shoots I have to be full like me. Yet they say we are as almost alike as eggs. Women say so, that will say anything. But were they false as o'er-dyed blacks? As wind, as waters, false as dice are to be wished by one that fixes no bond twixt his and mine. Yet it were true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page. Look on me with your welkin eye. Sweet villain, my dearest, my collop. Can thy dam, and may it be, affection? Thy intention steps to the centre. Thou dost make possible things not so held, communicatest with dreams. How can this be? With what's unreal, thou coactive art and fellowst nothing, then 'tis very credent thou mayst join with something, and thou dost, and that beyond commission, and I find it, and that to the infection of my brains and hardening of my brows.
What means Sicilia?
Something seems unsettled.
How, my lord? What cheer? How is it with you, best brother?
You look as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord?
No, in good earnest. How sometimes nature will betray its folly, its tenderness, and make itself a pastime to harder bosoms. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzle, lest it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like me, I thought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman. Mine honest friend, will you take eggs for money?
No, my lord. I'll fight.
You will. Why, happy man, Bizdol. My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours?
Well, if at home, sir, he is all my exercise, my mirth, my matter, now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy, my parasite, my soldier, statesman, all. He makes Sir July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood.
So stands this squire officed with me. We two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps. Hermione, how thou lovest us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he is apparent to my heart.
If you would seek us, we are yours in the music room. Shallst attend you there?
To your own bents dispose you. You'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I'm angling now, though you perceive me not how I give line. Go to. How she holds up the neb, the bill to him, and arms her with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Gone already! Inch thick, knee deep, o'er head and eyes a forked one. Go play, boy, play! Thy mother plays, and I play too, but so disgraced a part whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamour will be my knell. Go play, boy, play! There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now, and many a man there is, even at this present. Now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm that little thinks she's been sluiced in his absence, and is pond fished by his next neighbour, by a smile his neighbour. Nay, there's comfort in it, whilst other men have gates, and those gates opened, as mine, against their will. Should all despair that have revolted wives, the 10th of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there's none. 'Tis a bawdy planet that will strike where 'tis predominant, and 'tis powerful, I think, from east, west, north, and south. Be it concluded, no barricado for a belly. Know it! It will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage. Many $1,000 have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy?
I am like you, they say.
Why, that's some comfort. Well, what, Camillo there?
Aye, my good lord.
Go play, Mamillius. Thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir will yet stay longer.
You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast doubt, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He would not stay at your petitions. Made his business more material.
Didst perceive it? They're here with me already. Whispering, rounding, Sicilia is a so forth. 'Tis far gone when I shall gust it last. How came't, Camillo, that he did stay?
At the good queen's entreaty.
At the queen's be it. Good should be pertinent, but it is so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine? But for thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks. Not noted is, but by the finer natures, by some severals of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes perchance to this business purblind. Say!
Business, my lord. I think most understand that Bohemia stays here longer.
Huh?
Well, he stays here longer.
Aye, but why?
To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy the entreaties of your mistress? Satisfy, let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well my chamber councils, wherein priest-like thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed thy penitent reformed, but we have been deceived in thy integrity. Deceived in that which seems so.
Be it forbid, my lord.
To bide upon, thou art not honest. Or if thou inclines that way, thou art a coward, which hoaxes honesty behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust and therein negligent, or else a fool that sees the game played home, the rich stake drawn, takes it all for jest.
My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In any of these, no man is free, but that his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world sometimes put forth. In your affairs, my lord, if ever I were willfully negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence. Not weighed well the end, if ever fearful to do a thing. Where I the issue doubted, where the execution did cry out against the non-performance, 'twas a fear which oft infects the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But beseech your grace, be plain with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine.
Have you not seen, Camillo? But that's past doubt you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or heard, for to a vision so apparent rumour cannot be mute, or thought, for cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. But my wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative to have nor eyes nor ears nor thought, then say my wife's a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts to it before her troth plight. Say it and justify it.
I would not be a stander-by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so, without my present vengeance taken. True, my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate was sin as deep as that, though true.
Whispering nothing. Is leaning cheek to cheek, is meeting noses, kissing with inside lip, stopping the career of laughing with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot on foot, skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift, hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only, that would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why then the world and all that's in it is nothing. That's covering sky is nothing. Bohemia is nothing. My wife is nothing. No, nothing of these nothing. If this be nothing.
Could my lord be cured of this diseased opinion? And betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
To say it be true,
No. No, my lord.
It is. You lie. You lie. I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver as infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, he that wears her like a medal, hanging about his neck, Bohemia! Who, if I had servants true about me, that bear eyes to see alike mine honour as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they would do that which should undo more doing. Aye, and thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who mayst see plainly as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, mightst bespice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me seems cordial.
Sir, my lord, I could do this, and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress, so sovereignly being honourable. I have loved thee since...
Make that thy question and go rot. Dost think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation? Sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve his sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps, give scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I do think is mine and love as mine, without right moving to it? Would I do this? Could man so blench?
I must believe you, sir. I do. And will fetch off Bohemia for it. Provided that, when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first. Even for your son's sake, and thereby foresealing the injury of tongues in courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Thou dost advise me, e'en so as I mine own course set down. I'll give no blemish to her honour, none.
My lord, go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feasts, keep with Bohemia and with your queen. I am his cup-bearer. If he have from me wholesome beverage, account me not your servant.
This is all. Do it, and thou hast half of my heart. Do it not, thou splitst thine own.
I'll do it, my lord.
I will seem friendly, as thou hast advised me.
Oh, miserable lady. But for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes. And my ground to do it is the obedience to a master, one who in rebellion with himself will have all that is his so too. To do this deed, promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings and flourished after, I'd not do it. But since nor brass nor stone nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it, I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain to me a breakneck. happy star reign now. Here comes Bohemia.
This is strange. Methinks my favour here begins to warp. Not speak? Good day, Camillo.
Hail, most royal sir.
What is the news in the court?
None rare, my lord.
The king hath on him such a countenance as he had lost some province or region, loved as he loved himself. Even now I met him with customary compliment, when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary and falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding that changeth thus his manners.
I dare not know, my lord.
How? Dare not. Do not. Do you know and dare not? Be intelligent to me, 'tis thereabouts, for to yourself. What you do know you must. You cannot say you dare not. Good Camillo, your changed complexions are to me a mirror which show me mine changed too. For I must be a party in this alteration, finding myself thus altered with.
There is sickness, which puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease, and it is caught of you that are yet well.
How caught of me? Make me not sighted like the basilisk. I have looked on thousands who have sped the better of my regard, but killed none so, Camillo. As you are certainly a gentleman, therefore clerk-like experience, which no less adorns our gentry than our parents' noble names, in whose success we are gentle, I beseech you, if you know aught that does behove my knowledge thereof to be informed, imprison it not with ignorant concealment.
I may not.
A sickness caught of me, and yet I will. I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo? I conjure thee by all parts of man, which honour does acknowledge, whereof the least suit is not of mine. Thou declare what incidency thou dost guess of harm is creeping towards me, how far off, how near, which way to be prevented, if to be, if not, how best to bear it.
Sir, I will tell you, since I am charged in honour and by him that I think honourable. Therefore, mark my counsel, which must be even as swiftly followed as I mean to utter it, for both yourself and me cry lost, and so good night.
On, good Camillo.
I am appointed him to murder you.
By whom, Camillo?
By the king.
For what?
He thinks, nay, with all confidence he swears, as he had seen or been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly.
Then my best blood turned to an infected jelly, and my name be yoked with this that did betray the best. Turn then my freshest reputation to a savour that may strike the dullest nostril where I arrive, and my approach be shunned, nay, hated, too, worse than the greatest infection that e'er was heard or read.
Swear his thought over by each particular star in heaven, and by their influences you may as well forbid the sea to obey the moon, as by oath remove or counsel shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundation is piled upon his faith and will continue the standing of his body.
How should this grow?
I know not, but I'm sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than question how 'tis born. If you therefore dare trust my honesty, that lies enclosed in this trunk, which you shall bear along impawned away tonight, your followers I will whisper to the business, and by twos and threes at several posterns clear them of the city. For myself, I'll put my fortunes at your service, which are here by this discovery lost. Be not uncertain, for by the honour of my parents, I have uttered truth, which if you seek to prove, I dare not stand by, nor shall you be safer than one condemned by the king's own mouth, thereon his execution sworn.
I do believe thee. I saw his heart in his face. Give me thy hand. Be pilot to me now, and thy places shall still neighbour mine. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure 2 days ago. This jealousy is for a precious creature. As she is rare, must it be great, and as his person's mighty, must it be violent. And as he does conceive, he is dishonoured by a man which ever professed to him. Why, his revenges must in that be made more bitter. Fear o'ershades me. Good expedition be my friend, and comfort the gracious queen. Part of his theme, but nothing of his ill-tained suspicion. Come, good Camillo, I will respect thee as a father if thou bearest my life off hence. Let us avoid.
It is my authority to command the keeping of all the postons. Please, your highness, to take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away.
Take the boy to you. He so troubles me, 'tis past enduring.
Come, my gracious lord, shall I be your playfellow?
No, I'll have none of you.
Oh, why, my sweet lord?
You kiss me as hard and speak to me as if I were a baby still. I love you better.
And why so, my lord?
Not for because your brows are blacker, yet black brows, they say, become some women best, that there be not too much hair there, but in a semicircle or half moon made with a pen.
Who taught you thus?
I learnt it out of women's faces. Say now, what colour are your eyebrows?
Blue, my lord.
Nay, that's a mock. I've seen a lady's nose that has been blue, but not her eyebrows.
Oh, hark ye. The queen, your mother, rounds the pace. We shall present our services to a fine new prince one of these days, and then you'd wanton with us if we would have you.
She is spread of late into a goodly bulk. Good time, encounter her.
What wisdom stirs among you? Come, sir, now I am for you again. Pray, sit by us and tell us a tale.
Merry or sad shall it be?
As merry as you will.
A sad tale's better for winter. I have one of sprites and goblins.
Oh, let's have that, good sir. Come, sit down. Come on, and do your best to fright me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
There was a man.
Hey, sit down. Then on.
Dwelt by a churchyard. I will tell it softly, yond crickets shall not hear it.
Come on then, and give to me in mine ear.
Was he met there, his train, Camillo with him?
Behind the tufts of pine I met him. Never saw I men scour so on their way. I eyed them even to their ship.
How blessed I am in my just censure, in my true opinion. Alack for lesser knowledge. How accursed at being so blessed. There may be in a cup a spider steeped, and one may drink, depart. and yet partake no venom, for his knowledge is not infected. But if one present the abhorred ingredient to his eye, make known how he hath drunk, he cracks his gorge, his sides with violent hefts. I have drunk and seen the spider. Camillo was his help in this, his pander. Does a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That false villain whom I employed was pre-employed by him. He's discovered my design, and I remain a pinched thing, yea, a very trick for them to play at will. But how came the postern so easily open?
But by his great authority, which often hath no less prevailed than so on your command.
I note too well. Give me the boy. I'm glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him.
What is this? Sport?
Bear the boy hence. He shall not come about her. Away with him. Let her sport herself with that she's big with. For 'tis Polixenes has made thee swell thus.
But I'll say he had not. And I'll be sworn you would believe my saying, yet you lean to the nailward.
Lo, you, my lords, look on her. Mark her well. Be about to say she's a goodly lady, and the justice of your heart will thereto add 'tis pity she's not honest, honourable. Praise her, but for this her without-door form, which on faith deserves high speech, and straight the shrug, the hum, and ha, these petty brands that calumny doth use. Oh, I'm out. That mercy does, for calumny will sear virtue itself. These shrugs, these hums, these ha's, when you've said she's goodly, come between ears, you can say she's honest. But be it known, from him that has most cause to grieve it should be, she's an adulteress!
Should a villain say so? The most replenished villain in the whole world, he were much more a villain. You, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook, my lady, Polixenes for Leontes. Oh, thou thing, which I'll not call a creature of thy place, lest barbarism, making me the precedent, should a like language used to all degrees and mannerly distinguishment leave out twixt the prince and the beggar. I have said she's an adulteress. I have said with whom? More, she's a traitor, and Camillo is the federary with her, and one that knows what she should shame to know herself with her most vile principle, that she's a bad swerver, even as bad as those that vulgars give the boldest titles to, and privy to this their late escape.
No, by my life, privy to none of this. How this will grieve you when you shall come to the clear knowledge that you have thus published me. Gentle, my lord, you scarce can write me more truly than to say you did mistake.
No, if I mistake in those foundations which I build upon, the centre is not big enough to bear a schoolboy's top. Away with her! The prison! He who shall speak for her is a far off guilty, but that he speaks.
Where some ill planet reigns, I must be patient till heavens look with aspect more favourable. Good my lords, I am not prone to weeping as our sex commonly are, the want of which vain dew perchance shall dry your pities, but I have that honourable grief lodged here, which burns worse than tears drown. Beseech you, my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charities shall best instruct you, measure me, and so the king's will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is that goes with me? Beseech your highness, my women may go with me, because you see my plight requires it. Oh, do not weep, good fools, there is no cause. When you shall know your mistress has deserved prison, then abound in tears as I come out. This action that I now go upon is for my better grace. Adieu, my lord. I never hoped to see you sorrow. Now I trust I shall. My women, come. You have leave.
Go! Do our bidding! Heads! Heads!
Beseech your highness, call the queen again.
Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violence, in the which 3 great ones suffer, yourself, your queen, your son.
For her, my lord, I dare my life lay down, and will do it, sir. Please you to accept it. The queen is spotless in the eyes of heaven and to you. I mean in this which you accuse her.
If it proves she's otherwise, I'll keep my stables where I lodge my wife. I'll go in couples with her. Then when I feel and see no farther trust her, for every inch of woman in the world, every dram of woman's flesh is false if she be.
Hold your pieces!
Good my lord!
It is for you we speak, not for ourselves. You're abused by some putter-on that will be damned for it. Would I knew the villain, I would land damn him. Would I be she honour-flawed? I have 3 daughters. The eldest is 11, the second and the third 9, and some 5. If this prove true, they'll pay for it, by mine honour. I'll geld them all 14 they shall not see, to bring false generations. They are co-heirs, and I had rather glib myself than they should not produce fair issue.
Cease, no more. You smell this business with a sense as cold as is a dead man's nose, but I do see it and feel it, as you feel doing thus, and see with all the instruments that feel.
If it be so, we need no grave to bury honesty. There's not a grain of it to face the sweetness of the whole dungy earth.
What? Lack I credit?
I had rather you did lack than I, my lord, upon this ground. And more, it would content me to have her honour true than your suspicion. Be blamed for it how you might.
What need we commune with you of this, but rather follow our forceful instigation? Our prerogative calls not your counsels, but our natural goodness imparts this, which if you, or stupefied, or seeming so in skill, cannot or will not relish a truth like us, inform yourselves, we need no more of your advice. The matter, the loss, the gain, the ordering on it is all properly ours.
And I wish, my liege, you had only in your silent judgment tried it without more overture.
How could that be? Either thou art most ignorant by age, or thou wert born a fool. Camillo's flight added to their familiarity, which was as gross as ever touched conjecture, that lacked sight only, not for approbation, but only seeing. All other circumstances made up the deed. Doth push on this proceeding. Yet, for a greater confirmation, for in an act of this importance, 'twere most piteous to be wild, I here dispatch in post to sacred Delphos, to Apollo's temple, Cleomenes and Dion. Now, from the oracle, they will bring all whose spiritual counsel I had shall stop me or spur me. Have I done well?
Well done, my lord.
Though I am satisfied and need no more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others, such as he whose ignorant credulity would not come up with the truth. So, have we thought it good from our free person she should be confined, lest that the treachery of the 2 fled hence be left her to perform? Come, followers, we're to speak in public, for this business will rouse us all.
To laughter, as I take it, if the good truth were known.
Good lady, no court in Europe is too good for thee. What dost thou then in prison? Now, good lady, you know me, do you not?
For a worthy lady, and one whom much I honour.
Pray you then, conduct me to the Queen.
I may not, madam. To the contrary, I have express commandment.
Here's a do to lock up honesty and honour from the access of gentle visitors. Is it lawful, pray you, to see her women? Any of them, Emilia?
So please you, madam, to put apart these your attendants, I shall bring Emilia forth.
I pray now, call her.
And, madam, I must be present at your conference.
Well, be it so, prithee. Oh, here's such ado to make no stain, a stain as passes colouring. Dear gentle woman, how fares our gracious lady?
As well as one so great and so forlorn may hold together. On her fights and griefs, which never tender lady hath borne greater, she's something before her time delivered.
A boy?
A daughter, and a goodly babe, lusty and like to live. The Queen receives much comfort in it. Says, my poor prisoner, I am as innocent as you.
I dare be sworn these dangerous, unsafe loons, ere the King beshrew them. He must be told on it, and he shall. The office becomes a woman best. I'll take it upon me. If I prove honey-mouthed, let my tongue blister, and never to my red-looked anger be the trumpet any more. Pray you, Emilia, commend my best obedience to the Queen. If she dares trust me with her little babe, I'll show it the King, and undertake to be her advocate to the loudest. You do not know how he may soften at the sight of the child. The silence often of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails.
My swarthy madam, your honour and your goodness is so evident that your free undertaking cannot miss a thriving issue. There is no lady living so meet for this great errand. Please your ladyship to visit the next room. I'll presently acquaint the Queen of your most noble offer, who but today hammered of this design, but durst not tempt a minister of honour, lest she should be denied.
Tell her, Emilia, I'll use that tongue I have, if wit flow from it as boldness from my bosom. I'll let not be doubted I shall do good.
Now be you blessed for it. I'll to the Queen. Please, you come something nearer.
Madam, if it please the Queen to send the babe, I know not what I shall incur to pass it, having no warrant.
You need not fear it, ma'am. This child was prisoner to the womb, and is by law and process of great nature thence freed and enfranchised, not a party to the anger of the King, nor guilty of, if any be, the trespass of the Queen.
I do believe it.
Do not fear. Upon mine honour, I will stand betwixt you and danger.
Nor day, nor night, nor rest. It is but weakness to bear the matter thus, mere weakness. If the cause were not in being part of the cause, she the adulteress, for the harlot King is quite beyond mine arm, out of the blank and level of my brain, plot-proof, but she I can hook to me. Say that you were gone, given to the fire, a moiety of my rest might come to me again. Who's there?
My lord.
How doth the boy?
Oh, he took good rest tonight. 'Tis hoped his sickness is discharged.
See his nobleness. Conceiving the dishonour of his mother, he'd straight declined, drooped, took it deeply, fastened, and fixed the shame onto himself. Threw off his spirit, his appetite, his sleep, and downright languished. Leave me solely. Go, see how he fares. Fight no thought of him. The thought of my revenge does that way recoil upon me, in himself too mighty, and in his parties, his alliance. Let him be until the time may serve. For present vengeance, take it on her. Camillo and Polixenes laugh at me mid their pastimes at my sorrow. They should not laugh if I could reach them, nor shall she within my power.
You must not enter.
Nay, rather, good my lords, be second to me. Fear you his tyrannous passion more, alas, than the Queen's life? A gracious, innocent soul, more free than he is jealous.
That's enough.
How? Away with that audacious lady. Antigonus, I charge thee that she should not come about me. She should not visit you.
I told you she would. On your displeasure's peril and on mine, she should not visit you.
What, canst not rule her?
Good, my liege, I come, and I beseech you, hear me, who profess myself to your loyal servant, your physician, your most obedient counsellor, yet that dare less appear so in comforting your evils than such as most seem yours. I say, I come from your good queen.
Good queen?
Good queen, my lord. Good queen, I say, good queen, and would by my combat make her good, so were I a man the worst about you.
Force her hands.
Let him that makes but trifles of his eyes first hand me. On mine own accord I'll off. But first I'll do my errand. The good queen, for she is good, hath brought you forth a daughter. Here, 'tis commends it to your blessing.
Out! Mankind witch! Hence with her! Out of door, or most intelligence and board!
Not so. I am as ignorant in that as you. I am so entitling me, and no less honest than you are mad.
Traitors, will you not push her out? Give her the bastard! Antigonus, the dotard! Woman tired, unroosted by thy dame partlet here? Take up the bastard, take it up, I say, to thy crone.
Forever unvenerable by thy hands. If thou takest up the princess by that forced baseness which he has put upon it.
You Dredson's wife!
So I would you did, then 'twere past all doubt. You'd call your children yours.
You nest of traitors!
I am none by this good light.
Nor I, nor anyone, but one that's here, and that's himself. For he, the sacred honour of himself, his queens, his hopeful sons, his babes, betrays to slander whose sting is sharper than the swords.
Perritt, a boundless tongue, who late hath beat her husband and now baits me. This brat is none of mine. It is the issue of Polixenes. Hence with it, together with its dam, and commit them to the fire.
It is yours. And might we lay the old proverb to your charge, so like you 'tis the worse. Behold, my lords, although the print be little, the whole matter and copy of the father, eye, nose, lip, the trick of his frown, his forehead, nay, the valley, the pretty dimples of his chin and cheek, his smiles, the very mould and frame of hand, nail, finger.
Rosehag! Losel Antigonus, thou art worthy to be hanged, that wilt not stay her tongue.
Hang all the husbands that cannot do that feat, and you'll leave yourself hardly one subject.
Once more, take her hence!
A most unworthy and unnatural lord can do no more.
Are they burned?
I care not. It is an heretic that makes the fire, not she which burns in it. I'll not call you tyrant, but this most cruel usage of your queen, not able to produce more accusation than your own weak-hinged fancy, something savours of tyranny, and will ignoble make you, yea, scandalous to the world.
On your allegiance, out of the chamber with her. Were I a tyrant, where were her life? She does not call me so, if she did know me one. Away with her!
Pray you, do not push me. I'll be gone. Look to your babe, my lord, 'tis yours. So farewell. We are gone.
Thou traitor, hast set on thy wife to this, my child, away with it. Even thou that hast a heart so tender to it, take it hence and see it instantly consumed with fire. Even thou, and none but thou. Take it up straight. Within this hour bring me word 'tis done. And by good testimony, or I'll seize thy life, with what else thou call'st thine. If thou refuse and wilt encounter with my wrath, say so. The bastard brains with these my proper hands shall I dash out. Go, take it to the fire, for thou set'st on thy wife.
I did not, sir. These lords, my noble fellows, if they please, can clear me in it.
We can, my royal liege. He is not guilty of her coming hither.
You liars all!
Oh, beseech your highness, give us credit. We have always truly served you, and beseech you so to esteem of us. And on our knees we beg, as recompense of our dear services past and to come, you do change this purpose.
I'm a feather for each wind that blows. Shall I live on to see this bastard kneel and call me father? Better burn it now than curse it then. But be it. Let it live. It shall not, neither. You, sir, come hither. You that have been so tenderly officious with Lady Marjorie, your midwife there, to save this bastard's life, for 'tis a bastard, so sure as this beard's grey. What will you adventure to save this brat's life?
Anything, my lord, that my ability may undergo and nobleness impose. At least thus much I'll pawn the little blood that I have left to save the innocent. Anything possible.
It shall be possible. Swear by this sword that thou wilt perform my bidding.
I will, my lord.
Mark and perform it, seest thou. For the fail of any point in it shall only be death to thyself. Not only that, but to thy lewd-tongued wife, whom for this time we pardon. We enjoin thee, as thou art liege man to us, that thou carry this female bastard hence, and that thou bear it to some remote and desert place, quite out of our dominions, and that there thou leave it, without more mercy, to its own protection and favour of the climate. As by strange fortune it came to us, I do in justice charge thee on thy soul's peril and thy body's torture, that thou commend it strangely to some place where chance may nurse or end it. Take it up.
I swear to do this. Though a present death had been more merciful. Come on, poor babe. Some powerful spirit instructs thy kites and ravens to be thy nurses. Wolves and bears, they say, casting their savageness aside, have done like officers of pity. Sir, be prosperous in more than this deed doth require, and blessing against this cruelty, fight on thy side. Poor thing condemned to loss.
No! I'll not raise another's issue!
Please, Your Highness, posts from those you sent to the Oracle are come an hour since. Cleomenes and Dion, being well arrived from Delphos, are both landed hasting to the court.
So, please, your sir, their speed hath been beyond account.
23 days have they been absent. 'Tis good speed. Foretells the great Apollo suddenly will have the truth of this appear. Prepare you, lords. Summon a session, that we may arraign our most disloyal lady, for as she hath been publicly accused, so she shall have a just and open trial. While she lives, my heart will be a burden to me. Leave me, and think upon my bidding. Yes? This sessions, to our great grief we pronounce, even pushes against our heart. The party tried the daughter of a king, our wife and one of us too much beloved. Let us be cleared of being tyrannous, since we can so openly proceed in justice, which shall have due course even to the guilt or the purgation. Produce the prisoner.
It is His Highness's pleasure that the Queen appear here in court. Silence!
Read the indictment.
Hermione, Queen to the worthy Leontes, King of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason in committing adultery with Polixenes, King of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camillo to take away the life of our sovereign lord the king, thy royal husband, the pretext whereof being by circumstances partly laid open, thou, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, did counsel and aid them for their better safety to fly away by night.
Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other but what comes from myself, it scarce shall boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity being counted falsehood shall, as I express it, be thus perceived, but thus: if powers divine behold our human actions, as they do, I doubt not then but innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know, who least will seem to do so, my past life have been as continent, as chaste, as true as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though devised and played to take spectators. For behold me, a fellow of the royal bed, which owe a moiety of the throne, a great king's daughter. Mother to a hopeful prince, here standing to prate and talk for life and honour for all who please to come and hear. For life, I prize it as I would wear grief. 'Tis a derivative from me to mine, honour, and only that I stand for. I appeal to your own conscience, sir. Before Polixenes came to your court, how I was in your grace, how merited to be so. Since he came, with what encounter so uncurrent I have strained to appear thus, if one jot beyond the bound of honour, or in act or will that way inclined, hardened be the hearts of all who hear me, and my nearest of kin cry, fie upon my grave.
I never heard yet that any of these bolder vices wanted less impudence to gainsay what they did than to perform it first.
That's true enough. Though 'tis a saying, sir, not due me.
You will not own it.
More than mistress of what comes to me in name of faults, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess I loved him as in honour he required, with such a kind of love as might become a lady like me. With a love even such so and no self you yourself commanded, which not to have done, I think had been in me both disobedience and ingratitude to you and toward your friend whose love had spoke, even since it could speak from an infant freely that it was yours. Now, for conspiracy, I know not how it tastes, though it be dished for me to try how. All I know of it is that Camillo was an honest man, and why he left your court, the gods themselves, wotting no more than I, are ignorant.
You knew of his departure, as you know what you have undertaken to do in his absence.
Sir, you speak in a language that I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, and here I'll lay it down.
Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard by Polixenes. Have I but dreamed it? As you were past all shame, those of your facts are so past all truth, which to deny concerns more than avails. For as thy brat hath been cast out, like to itself no farther owning it, which is indeed more criminal in thee than in it, so thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death.
Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me with, I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favour I do give lost, for I do feel it gone, yet know not how it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body, from his presence I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starred most unluckily, is from my breast, the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth held out to murder. Myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Lastly, hurried here, in this place, in the open air, before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here, alive, that I should be afraid to die. Therefore, proceed. Yet hear this, mistake me not. No life. I prize it not a straw, but for mine honour. which I would free, if I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping, else which your jealousies awake, I tell you 'tis rigour and not law. Your honours all, I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
This your request is altogether just. Therefore bring forth, and in Apollo's name, his oracle.
The Emperor of Russia was my father. Oh, that he were alive and here beholding his daughter's trial. He did but see the flatness of my misery, yet with eyes of pity and not revenge.
You here shall swear upon this sword of justice that you, Cleomenes and Dion, have both been at Delphos, and from thence have brought the sealed up oracle, and by hand delivered of great Apollo's priest, and that since then you have not dared break the holy seal nor read any secrets in't.
All this we swear.
Break open the seals and read!
Hermione is chaste. Polixenes blameless. Camillo a true subject. Leontes a jealous tyrant. His innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir, if that which is lost be not found.
Now blessed be the great Apollo.
Praised.
Hast thou read truth?
Aye, my lord, even so, as it is here set down.
There is no truth at all in the oracle. The session shall proceed. This is mere falsehood.
Lord, the king!
What is the business?
Oh, sir, I shall be hanged, reported. The prince, your son, while with mere conceit and fear of the queen, is gone.
How gone? Huh?
Dead, my lord.
Dead. Apollo's angry. And the heavens themselves do strike at my injustice. How now there?
This news is mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing.
Take her hence. Her heart is but o'ercharged. She will recover. I have too much believed in mine own suspicion. Beseech you tenderly apply to her some remedies for life. Apollo, pardon my great profaneness against thine oracle. I'll reconcile me to Polixenes. You were my queen. Recall the good Camillo, who might proclaim a man of truth, of mercy, for being transported by my jealousies to my bloody thoughts and to my revenge. I chose Camillo for the minister to poison my friend Polixenes, which had been done, but the good mind of Camillo tardied my swift command. Though I with death and with reward did threaten and encourage him, not being and being done, he most humane and filled with honour to my kingly guest unclasped my practice, quit his fortunes here, which you knew great, and to the hazard of all uncertainties himself commended, no richer than his honour. And how he glisters through my rust, how his pity does my deeds make the blacker.
Woe the while. Oh, cut my lace, lest my heart cracking it break too.
What fit is this, good lady?
What studied torments, tyrant, hast for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flaying, boiling in leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? The tyranny, together working with thy jealousies, fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of 9. Oh, I think what they have done, and then run mad, indeed, stark mad, for all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful, nor wast much. Thou wast to have poisoned good Camillo's honour, to have him kill a king. Poor trespassers, more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be or none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire ere done. Nor is it directly laid to thee, the death of the young prince, whose honourable thoughts high for one so tender, cleft the heart that could conceive a gross and foolish sire, blemished his gracious stand. This is not, no, late to thy answer, but the last. Oh, Lord, when I have said, cry, woe, Queen, the sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance fought not chopped down yet.
The higher powers forbid.
I say she's dead, I'll swear it. If word nor oath prevail, not go and see. If you can bring tincture or lustre at her lip, her eye, heat outwardly or breath within, I'll serve you as I would do the gods. But oh, thou tyrant, do not repent these things, for they are heavier than all thy woes can stir. Therefore betake thee. Do nothing, to nothing but despair. 1,000 knees, 10,000 years together, naked, fasting upon a barren mountain and still winter in storm perpetual, could not move the gods to look that way thou wert.
Go on. Go on. Thou canst not speak too much. I have deserved all tongues to talk their bitterest.
Say no more. However the business goes, you have made fault in the boldness of your speech.
I'm sorry for it. All faults I make when I shall come to know them, I do repent. Alas, I have showed too much rashness of a woman. He is touched to the noble heart. Now, good my liege, sir, royal sir, forgive a foolish woman. The love I bore your queen, lo, full again. I'll speak of her no more, nor of your children. I'll not remember you of my own lord, who is lost too. Take your patience to you, I'll say nothing.
That to speak well when was the truth, which I received much better than to be pitied thereof. Thee, prithee, bring me to the dead bodies of my queening son. One grave shall be for both. Upon them shall the causes of their death appear, and to my shame perpetual. Once a day I'll visit the chapel where they lie. Where the tears shed, there shall be my recreation. So long as nature will bear up this exercise, so long I daily vow to use it. Come, leave me to these sorrows.
Thou art perfect, then. I should have touched upon the deserts of Bohemia.
Aye, my lord, and fear we have landed in ill time. The skies look grimly and threaten present blusters. In my conscience, the heavens that we have in hand are angry and frown upon us.
Their sacred wills be done. Go, get aboard. Look to thy bark. I'll not be long here. Long before I call upon thee.
Make your best haste, and go not too far to the land. 'Tis like to be loud weather. Besides, this place is famous for the creatures of prey that keep upon it.
Go thou away, I'll follow instantly.
I am glad at heart to be rid of the business.
Poor babe. I've heard but not believed the spirits of the dead may walk again. If such thing be, thy mother appeared to me last night, but there was dream so like a waking. To me comes a creature, sometimes her head on one side, some other. I never saw a vessel of like sorrow so filled and so becoming. In pure white robes like very sanctity she did approach. My cabin where I lay thrice bowed before me. And gasping to begin some speech, her eyes became two spouts The fury spent anon did this break from her, good Antigonus. Since fate against thy better disposition hath made thy person for the thrower out of my poor babe, according to thine oath, places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying, and for the babe is counted lost forever. Perdita, I prithee call it. For this ungentle business put on me by my lord, thou never shalt see thy wife Paulina again. And so with shrieks she melted into air. I do believe that Hermione had suffered death, and that Apollo would, this being indeed the issue of King Polixenes, it should here be laid, either for life or death, upon the earth of its right father. Blossom, speed thee well. There lie, and there thy character, there these, which may, if fortune please, both breed thee pretty, and still rest thine. The storm begins, poor wretch, of thy mother's fault art thus exposed to loss and what may follow. Weep I cannot, but my heart bleeds. Most accursed am I to be by oath enjoined to this. Farewell. The day frowns more and more. Thou art like to have a lullaby too rough. I never saw the heavens so dim by day. A savage clamour. Well may I get aboard. This is the chase. I am gone forever.
I would there were no age between 16 and 23, or that youth would sleep out the rest, for there's nothing in the between but getting wenches with child. Ha! Wronging the ancientry, stealing, fighting. Ha! Hark you now, were any but these boiled brains of 19 and 2 and 20 hunt in this weather? They've scared away 2 of my best sheep, which I fear the wolf will sooner find than the master. If anywhere I have them, 'tis by the seaside, browsing of ivy. Good luck. If it be thy will, what have we here? Mercy. A bairn. Very pretty bairn. A boy or a child, I wonder. A pretty one. A very pretty one. Oh, sure. Some scape, though I'm not bookish, yet I can read waiting gentlewoman in the scape. This has been some stair work, some trunk work, some behind door work. They were warmer got this than the poor thing is here. I'll take it up for pity. Yet I'll tarry till my son come. He hallooed, but even now. Whoa! Oh! Oh!
I have seen 2 such sights by sea and by land.
Why, boy, how is it?
Oh, I would you did see, but how the sea chafes, how it rages, how it takes up the shore, but that's not the point. Oh, the most piteous cry of the poor souls, sometimes to see him and not to see him. Now the ship boring the moon at her mainmast, and anon swallowed with yeast and froth as you'll thrust a cork into a hogshead. And then for the land service, how he cried to me for help and said his name was Antigonus, a nobleman, but to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flap-dragoned it. But first, how the poor souls roared, and then the sea mocked them, and how the gentleman roared, and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or weather.
No mercy, when was this, boy?
Now, I have not winked since I saw these sights.
Heavy matters. But look thee here, boy. Now bless thyself. Thou mettest with things dying, I with things newborn. You is a sight for thee. Look, thee a bearing cloth for a squire's child. Look thee here. Take up, boy. Yeah, open it. So let's see. It was told me I should be rich by the fairies. This is some changeling. Open it. What's within, boy?
You're a made man. Gold. All gold.
Oh, this is fairy gold, boy, and will prove so. Up with it. Keep it close. Home the next way. We are lucky, boy. And to be so still requires nothing but secrecy. Let my sheep go. Come, good boy. The next way home.
Go you the next way with your findings. I'll go see if the bear be gone from the gentleman. If there be any of him left, I'll bury it.
'Tis a lucky day, boy. We'll do good deeds on it.
I pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness denying thee anything. I death to grant this.
It is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been out abroad, I desire to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king my master hath sent for me, to whose feelings, sorrows, I might be some allay.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. The need I have of thee, thine own goodness hath made. Thou, having made me businesses which none without thee can sufficiently manage, must either stay to execute them thyself, or take away with thee the very services thou hast done. Of that fatal country, Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that penitent, as thou call'st him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his precious queen and children are even now fresh lamented. Say to me, when sawest thou my son, the Prince Florizel? Kings are no less unhappy, their issue being gracious, than they are losing them when they have approved their virtues.
So it is 3 days since I saw the prince. I have missingly noted he is of late much retired from court and is less frequent in his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care. So far as I have eyes under my service within to look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd, a man, they say, that from very nothing, and beyond the imagination of his neighbours, is grown into an unspeakable estate.
Yes, I have heard, sir, of such a man, who hath a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than can be thought of, to begin from such a cottage.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle that plucks our son thither. Thou shalt accompany us to the place where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd. Prithee, be my present partner in this business and lay aside thoughts of Sicilia.
I willingly obey your command.
My best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
When daffodils begin to appear with a high, the dark sea over the dale, why then comes in the sweet of the year, for the red blood reigns in winter's pale. The white sheep bleaching on the hedge with a high, the sweet birds all how to sing. Does set my plugging tooth on edge, for a cot of ale is a dish for a king. The larks, the tyrant chants with a hive of thrush and the jay are the summer songs for me and my aunts as we lie living in the hay. Oh, I have served Prince Florizel in my time, and now I'm out of service. But shall I go and mourn for that, my dear? The pale moonlight shines at night, and when I wander here and there, I then do most go right. If tinkers may have leave to live and bear the sow-skin budget, then my account I well may give, and in the stocks avouch it. My traffic is sheets. When the kite builds, look to lesser linen. My father named me Autolycus. When I die, well, with dye and drab I purchase, well, this comparison, and my revenue is the silly cheat. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beaten and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come, I sleep out the thought of it. A prize! A prize!
Let me see. Every 11 weather tods, every tod yields pound and odd shilling. 1,500 shorn. What comes wool to?
If the spring holds, the cock's mine.
I cannot do without countess. Let me see. What am I to buy for our sheep shearing feast? 3 pound of sugar, 5 pound of currants, rice. What will this sister of mine do with rice? But my father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. I must have saffron to colour the warden pies. Mace? Dates? None, that's out of note. Nutmegs? 7. A race or 2 of ginger, but that I may beg. 4 pounds of prunes, and as many raisins of the sun.
Oh, that I was ever born.
Oh, in the name of them.
Oh, help me, sir. I am robbed, sir, beaten, money and apparel taken from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
Let me thy hand. I'll help thee. Come. Let me thy hand.
No, softly, sir. I feel my shoulder blade is out.
Oh, alas, poor soul.
No. My shoulder blade, it is out, sir.
How now? Canst stand?
Softly, dear sir. Good softly. You had done me a charitable office.
Oh, just like any money, I have a little money for thee.
No, good sir. No, I beseech you, sir. I have a kinsman not past 3/4 of a mile hence, unto whom I was going. I shall there have money or anything I want. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart.
What manner of fellow was he that robbed you?
A fellow, sir, that I have known to go about with troll my dames. I knew him once as a servant of the prince. He hath been since an 8-bearer, then a process server, a bailiff, then he come past the motion of a prodigal son, and married a tinker's wife within a mile where my land and living lies, and having flown over many knavish professions, he settled only on rogue. Some call him Autolycus.
Oh, out upon him. He haunts wakes, fairs, and bear baitings.
Very true, sir. That's the rogue that put me in this apparel.
Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. If you had but looked big and spit at him, he'll have run.
I must confess, sir, I am no fighter. I am false of heart that way. And that he knew. I warrant him.
How do you now?
Oh, sweet sir. Much better than I was. I can stand, though I can walk. I will even take leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman's.
Shall I bring thee on thy way?
No, good face, sir. No, sweet sir.
Then fare thee well. I must go buy spices for our sheep shearing.
Well, prosper you well, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. If I make not this cheap bring out another, and the sheep shearers prove sheep, let me be unrolled and my name put in the book of virtue. Jog and jog and jog the footpath away. Merrily hent the stile, merry heart goes all the day. Your sad tires are my lay.
Why wait for heaven to rid us of sickness and strife? We can build a better place in this earthly life. Let our hearts go on wings, shepherds feasting, but that won't change place in the grand scheme of things. So forever let's sing of daffodils in spring, of summers of love and Just let us all remember when summer turns to September, tell each other we'll walk together from here, together from here, together from here.
These, your unusual weeds, to each part of you do give a life. No shepherdess, but Flora, peering in April's front. This your sheep shearing is a meeting of the petty gods, and you the queen on't.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chide at your extremes, it not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I named them. Your high self, the gracious mark of the land you have obscured with a swain's wearing, and me, poor lowly maid, most goddess-like pranked up. But that our feasts in every mess have folly, and the feeders digest it with a custom. Oh, I should blush to see you so attired. Swoon, I think, to show myself a glass.
I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground.
Now Jove afford you cause. To me the difference forges dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Oh, even now I tremble to think your father by some accident should pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates, how would he look to see his work so noble, vilely bound up? What would he say, or how should I, in these my borrowed flaunts, behold the sternness of his presence?
Apprehend nothing but jollity. The gods themselves, humbling their deities to love, have taken the shapes of beasts upon them. Jupiter became a bull and bellowed, the green Neptune a ram and bleated, and the fire-robed god, golden Apollo, a poor, humble swain as I seem now. Their transformations were never for a piece of beauty rarer, nor, in a way, so chaste, since my desires run not before mine honour, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith.
But sir, your resolution cannot hold. When 'tis opposed, as it must be, by the power of the king. One of these two must be necessities, which then will speak that you must change this purpose, or I my life.
Thou, dearest Perdita, with these forced thoughts, I prithee darken not the mirth of the feast, or I'll be thine, my fair, or not my father's, for I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any if I be not thine.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious?
Aha, see, your guests approach.
My daughter, when my old wife lived, upon this day she was both pantler, butler, cook, both dame and servant. Welcomed all, served all. And here's her face afire with labour and the things she took to quench it. She would to eat sip. You are retired, as if you were a feasted one and the hosting. Pray you, bid these unknown for no. Come and quench your blushes and present yourself that which you are, mistress of the feast. Come on and bid us welcome to your sheep shearing as your good flock.
Sir, welcome. It is my father's will I should take on me the hostesship of the day. You're welcome, sir. Reverend sirs, for you, there's rosemary and rue. These keep steaming and savour all the winter long. Grace and remembrance be with you both. And welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, a fair one are you. Well you fit our ages with flowers of winter.
So, the year growing ancient, not yet on summer's death, nor on the birth of trembling winter, the fairest flowers of the season are
our carnations and street gillivores, which some call nature's bastards. Of that kind, our rustic gardens barren, and I care not to get slips of them.
You see, sweet maid, we marry a gentler scion to the wildest stock, and make conceive a bark of baser kind by bud of nobler race. This is an art which does mend nature, change it rather, but the art itself is nature.
So it is.
Then make your garden rich in gillivores, and do not call them bastards.
Here's flowers for you. They are flowers of middle summer, and I think they're given to men of middle age.
Oh.
You're very welcome.
Well, I should leave grazing where I have your flock and only live by gazing.
Out, alas. You'd be so lean that blast of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fairest friend, I would have had some flowers to you, the spring that might become your time of day. And yours. And yours. That where upon your virgin branches yet your maidenhead's growing. Proserpina, for the flowers now that frighted thou lest fall from Dis's wagon. Daffodils that come before the swallow dares and take the winds of March with beauty. Violets dim, but sweeter than the lids of Juno's eyes or Cytherea's breath. Pale primroses that die unmarried ere they can behold bright Phoebus in his strength, a malady most incident to maids. Bold oxlips and the crown imperial. Lilies of all kinds, the flower deluge being one. These I lack to make you garlands with, my sweet friend, to strew him. Oh, no.
What, like a course?
No, like a bank of love to lie and play on. Not like a course, or if not to be buried, but quick and in mine arms. Come, take your flowers. Methinks I play as I've seen them do in Whitsun pastorals. Sure, this rub of mine does change my disposition.
What do you do still betters what is done. When you speak sweet, I'll have you do whatever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so. So give alms and pray so, and for the ordering of your affairs to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea. You might never do anything but that. Move still so, and own no other function. Each you're doing so singular, and each particular crowns what you are doing in the present deeds, that all your acts are queens.
Doricles, your praises are too large, but that your youth and the true blood which peepeth fairly through it do plainly give out you, an unstained shepherd. With wisdom I might fear, my Doricles, you wooed me the false way.
Think you have as little skill to fear as I have purpose to put you to it. But come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my Perdita, so turtles pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for him.
This is the prettiest low-born lass that ever ran on the green sward. Nothing she does or seems but smacks of something greater than herself. Too noble for this place.
Come on, strike up.
Mopsa must be your mistress. Marry garlic to mend her kissing with.
Now, in good time.
Not a word, not a word. We stand upon our manners. Come on, strike up.
Pray, good shepherd, what fair swain is this which dances with your daughter?
They call him Doricles, and boasts himself to have a worthy feeding. But I have it on his own report, and believe it, he looks like sooth. He says he loves my daughter. I think so too. For never gaze the moon upon the water, as he'll stand and read, as 'twere, my daughter's eyes. And to be plain, I think there is not half a kiss to choose who loves another best.
She dances featly.
Oh, so she does anything, though I report it that should be silent. If young Doricles do light upon her, she shall bring him that which he dreams not.
Woo! Yeah.
Master, if you did but hear the peddler at the door, you would never dance again after a tabor and pipe. No, the bagpipe could not move you. He sings several tunes faster than you'll tell money. He utters them as he had eaten ballads, and all the men's ears grow to his tunes.
It could never come better. Here shall come in. I love a ballad, but even too well, if it be doleful, matter merrily set down, or a pleasant thing indeed, and sung lamentably.
He had songs for man or woman of all sizes. No milliner can fit his customers with gloves. He has the prettiest love songs for maids, so without bawdry, which is strange.
This is a brave fellow.
Believe me, thou talkest of an admirable, conceited fellow. Has he any unbraided wares?
Well, he hath ribbons of all the colours in the rainbow, points more than all the lawyers in Bohemia can learnedly handle, though they come to him by the gross. Inkles, caddises, cambresses, lords. Why, he sings them over as though they were gods or goddesses.
Prithee, bring him in and let him sing approaching.
Lonas, white as driven snow, Cypress black as over crow. Mate, the electric guitar is much better for this song, huh?
Be careful.
Oh, different. Lovely. Yes, yes. Loner's white as driven snow, Cypress black as electric crow, gloves sweet as Damascus rose, mask as faces for noses, bugle, bracelet, necklace, amber, perfume for my lady's chamber, golden crofts and stomachers for my lads to give to their dears, pins and poking sticks of steel for what mates like from heel to heel. Come by, come by, come by. All your lasses will cry, come by.
Yeah.
If I were not in love with Mopsa, thou shouldst take no money of me. But being enthralled as I am, it will also be the bondage of certain ribbons and gloves.
I was promised them against the feast, but they come not too late now.
We have promised you more than that, or there be liars.
He hath paid you all he promised you. Maybe he has paid you more, which will shame you to give him again.
Is there no manner left among maids?
Oh, I have done. Come, you promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Have I not told thee how I was cozened by the way and lost all my money?
Ah, and indeed, sir, there are cozeners abroad. Therefore, it behoves men to be wary.
Oh, fear not, man. Thou shalt not lose nothing here.
Ah, I hope so, sir, for I have about me many parcels to charge.
What hast here? Ballads?
Oh, pray now, buy some. I love a ballad in print life, for then we are sure they are true.
Well, here's one. It's a very doleful tune. Our usurer's wife was brought to bed of 20 money bags at a birthing, and how she longed to eat adders' heads and toads carboned.
Is it true? Think you?
Very true, and but a month old.
Bless me from marrying a usurer.
Here's the midwife's name, Mistress Tail Porter, and 5 or 6 honest wives that were present. Why should I carry lies abroad?
Oh, pray you now, buy it.
Come on, lay it by, and let's first see more ballads. We'll be up by the other things anon.
Here's another ballad of a fish that appeared upon the coast on Wednesday the 4th of April, 40,000 fathoms above the water, and sung this ballad against the hard hearts of maids. It was thought that she was a woman who was turned into a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with the one that loved her. This ballad is very pitiful and is true.
Is it true too? Think you?
5 justices' hands at it, and witnesses more than my pack will hold.
Lay it by 2. Another.
This merry ballad is a very merry ballad, but it's a very pretty one.
Oh, let's have some merry ones.
This is a passing merry one and goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man. There's scarce a maid westward, but she sings it. 'Tis in request, I can tell you.
We can both sing it. If thou bear a part, thou shall hear 'tis in 3 parts.
We had the tune of it a month ago.
I can bear my part. You must know this. 'Tis my occupation. Have it with you.
Get your hands, for I must go where it fits not you to know.
We'll have this song anon by ourselves. My father and the gentlemen are in sad talk, and will not trouble them. Come, bring away thy pack after me. Wenches, I'll buy for you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Follow me, girls.
And you shall pay for them well, sir.
Could I have that back now, maybe?
No.
Yeah.
Will you buy any tape or lace for your cape, my dainty duck dear any silk, any thread, any toys for your head, our newest and finest forever wearer, come to the peddler. Money's a meddler that doth utter all men's wearer.
Hey, dude, my dad bought me that.
Master, there is the 3 cartiers, 3 shepherds, 3 neat herds, 3 swineherds that have made themselves all men and women of hair. Yeah. And they have a dance, which the wenches say is a gallon free of gambles. But they themselves are of the mind, if it be not too rough for some that know a little bit bowling, it will please plentifully.
Away! Well, none of it. Here has been too much homely foolery already. I know, sir. We weary you.
You weary those that refresh us. Pray, let's see these 4 threes of herdsmen.
1, 3 of them, by their own report, sir, hath danced before the king, and not the worst of 3 that jumps 12 foot and a half by the squire.
Well, leave your prating, since these good men are pleased, let them come in, but quickly now.
Why, they're already on stage, sir.
So bright and clear above my track, and I won't just see the concrete towers and the dust cloud in my back. So fare thee well, my city pals, fare thee well, Lydia, darling's mine. You'll be glad to hear I won't waste any more of your precious time. No, I won't. Wild berries by the wayside taste much sweeter than your wine. I don't care anymore if all your brilliant brains will prove me wrong. I felt a fool listen to you, now I'm a bigger fool for listening so long. While everything you said and preached made me ashamed of my simple song, my sweet song. So fare thee well, my city pals, fare thee well, Lydia, darling mine. You'll be glad to hear I won't waste any more of your precious time. The wild berries by the wayside taste much sweeter than your
Oh, Father, you shall know more of that hereafter.
Yes, well, there certainly was a lot of hair before, during, and after.
Is it not too far gone? 'Tis time to part, our lovers. He's simple and tells much. How now, fair shepherd? Your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting. Sooth, when I was young and handed love as you do, I was wont to load my she with knacks. I would have ransacked the peddler's silken treasury and had poured it to her acceptance. You have to let him go, and nothing martyred with him. If your lass interpretation should abuse and call this your lack of love or bounty, you are strated for a reply, at least, if you make a care of happy holding her.
Old sir, I know she does not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks from me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Ah, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, whom it should seem hath sometime loved. I take this hand as soft as dove's down, or Ethiopian's tooth, or the fan snow that's bolted by the northern blast, twice over.
But my daughter, say you the like to him.
I cannot speak so well. Nothing so well. No, nor mean better. By the pattern of mine own thoughts, I cut out the purity of his.
Take hands, a bargain, and friends unknown, you shall be a witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his.
It must be the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet. But enough then for your wonder. Come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Come, your hand, and daughter, yours. Yes.
Soft, swain, a while beseech you. Have you a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is, at the nuptial of his son, a guest that best becomes the table. Pray you once more, is not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Is he not stupid with age and altering rooms? Can he speak, hear, no man from man, dispute his own estate? Lies he not bedrid, and again does nothing but what he did being childish?
No, good sir. He has his health and ample strength indeed than most have of his age.
By my white beard, you offer him, if this be so, a wrong something unfilial. Reason my son should choose himself a wife, but as good reason the father, all whose joy is nothing else but fair posterity, should hold some counsel in such a business.
I yield orders. For some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not fit you know, and not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
He shall not.
Prithee, let him.
No, he must not.
Oh, let him, my sonny. He shall not need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou, as scepter's heir, that thus affects a sheephook. Thou old traitor. I am sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, who of force must know the royal fool thou copest with.
Oh, my heart!
I'll have thy beauty scratched with briars and made more homely than thy state. For thee, fond boy, if I may ever know thou dost but sigh, that thou no more shalt see this knack. As ever I mean thou shalt, we'll bar thee from succession, not hold thee of our blood, no, not of our kin, far than Deucalion off. Mark thou my words. Follow us to the court. Thou churl, for this time, though full of our displeasure, yet we free thee from the dead blow of it. And you, enchantment, worthy enough a herdsman, yea, him too that makes himself, but for our honour therein unworthy thee. If ever henceforth thou these rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces, I will devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Even here under, I was not much afeared, for once or twice I was about to speak, and tell him plainly the self-same sun that shines upon his court hides not his visage from our cottage, but looks on alike. Will please you, sir, be gone. I told you what would come of this. Of your own state, take care, the stream of my being now awake, I'll queen it no inch further, but milk my eyes and weep.
How now, my father? Speak ere thou diest?
I cannot speak. nor think nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir, you undone a man of 83, the thought to fill his grave in quiet, yea, to die upon the bed my father died, to lie close by his honest bones. But now some hangman must put on my shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust. Oh, cursed wretch that knew this was the prince and would adventure to mingle faith with him. Undone! If I might die within this hour, I have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry. Not to fear, delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am. Well, straining on for plucking back, not following my leash unwillingly.
Gracious, my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, which I do guess you do not purpose to him, and as hardy will he endure your sight as yet, I fear. Then till the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
And not purpose it. I think... Camillo.
Even he, my lord.
How often have I told you to be thus? How often said my dignity would last, but till 'twere known?
It cannot fail by the violation of my faith. Until then, let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seas within. Lift up thy looks. In my succession bar me, father, I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am. And by my fancy. Look, if my reason will thereto be obedient, I have reason. If not, my senses, better pleased with madness, do bid it welcome.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it, but it does fulfill my vow. I must needs think it honesty. Camillo, not the Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleaned, but for all the sun sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound seas hide in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this my fair beloved. Therefore I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honoured friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, cast your good counsels upon his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know and so deliver. I am put to sea, with her whom here I cannot hold on shore. And most opportune to our need, I have a vessel that rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor concern me, the reporting.
Oh, my lord, I would your spirit were easier for advice, or stronger for your need.
Hark, Polter. I'll hear you by and by.
Well, he's irremovable, resolving for flight. Now were I happy if his going I could frame to serve my turn, save him from danger, do him love and honour, and purchase the sight again of dear Sicilia, and that unhappy king, my master whom I so much thirst to see.
Now, good Camillo, I am so fraught with curious business that I leave out ceremony.
Well, my lord, if you may please to think that I love the king, and through him that which is nearest to him, which is thy gracious self, embrace but my direction. If your more ponderous and settled project may suffer alteration, on mine honour I'll point you where you shall have such receiving as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from the whom I see there is no disjunction to be made. But by, as the heavens forfend, your ruin, marry her, and with the best endeavours in your absence, your disconsenting father strive to qualify and bring him up to liking.
How, Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done, that I may call thee something more than a man, and after that trust to thee?
Have you thought on a place whereto you'll go?
Well, not any yet, but as done thought on accident is guilty to what we wildly do, so we profess ourselves to be the slaves of chance and flies to every wind that blows.
Yeah, well, then listen to me. This follows. If you will not change your purpose, but undergo this flight, make for Sicilia, and there present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be, afore Leontes. She shall be habited as it becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Leontes opening his arms to her. Freely weeping, he welcomes forth. Ask thee, the son, for forgiveness, as 'twere in the father's person. Kisses the hands of your fresh princess, over and over, divides him twixt his unkindness and his kindness. The one he chides to hell, and bids the other grow faster than thought or time.
Worthy Camillo, what colour visitation shall I hold up before him?
Sent by the king your father, to greet him and to give him comforts. Sir, the manner of your bearing towards him, with what you as for your father shall deliver, things known betwixt the three of us. I'll write you down the which point you shall have forth at every sitting, what you must say, and that he shall not perceive, but that you have your father's bosom there and speak his very heart.
I am bound to you. There is some sap in this. My prettiest Perdita. All the thorns we stand upon. Camillo, preserver of my father and now of me, the medicine of our house. How shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
My lord, fear none of this. I think you know my fortunes do all lie there. It shall be so my care to have you royally appointed as if the scene you play were mine. For instance, that you may know you shall not want one word.
Oof. Ha! Oh. What a fool honesty is, and trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery. My clown grew so in love with the wench's song that he would not stir his pettitoes till he had both tune and words, which so drew the rest of the herd to me that all their other senses stuck in ears. You might have pinched a placket. It was senseless. 'Twas nothing to gild a codpiece of a purse. I could have filed keys off that hat that hung in chains, no hearing, no feeling, but my sir's song, and admiring the nothing of it. So that in this time of lethargy, I picked and cut most of their festival purses, and had not the old man come in with a woo-bub against his daughter and the king's son and the scared off my coughs from my chaff, I wouldn't have left a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, but my letters by this means being there, so soon as you arrive shall clear that doubt.
And those that you'll procure from King Leontes.
What shall satisfy your father?
Happy be you. All that you speak shows fair.
Who have we here? Well, we'll make an instrument of this, omit nothing, and give us aid.
If they have overheard me now, hanging.
How now, my good fellow? Why shakest thou so? Fear not, man, there's no harm intended to thee.
I am a poor fellow, sir.
Why, be so still. Here's nobody will steal that from thee. Yet for the outside of thy poverty we must make an exchange. Therefore, discase thee instantly. Thou must think there is necessity in it, and change garments with this gentleman, though the pennyworth on his side be the worst. Yet hold thee. Here's some boot.
I'm a poor fellow, sir. I know ye well enough.
Nay, prithee dispatch. The gentleman is half flayed already. Come.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell the trick on it.
Dispatch, I prithee.
Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot with conscience take it.
Unbuckle, unbuckle. Dismantle you. And as you can, disliken the truths of your own seeming that you may, for I do fear your eyes over to shipboard. Get undescribed.
Should my father now see me, he would not recognize me as his own son, I guess.
Farewell, my friend.
Purpose of what we twain forgot. Pray you a word.
What I do next shall be to tell the king of this escape, and whither they are bound, wherein my hope is that I shall so prevail to force him after, in whose company I shall review Sicilia, for whose sight I have a woman's longing.
14 speed up. Thus set on, Camillo, to the seaside.
The swifter speed, the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. To have an open ear, a quick eye, and a nimble hand is necessary for a cut purse. A good nose is a requisite also to smell out work for the other senses. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king withal, I would not do it. No, I hold it more knavery to conceal it, and therein I am constant to my profession. Aside. Here's matter for the hot brain.
See? What a man you are now. There is no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
No, but hear me.
No, but hear me.
Well, go to then.
She being none of your flesh and blood, your flesh and blood has not offended the king. And so your flesh and blood is not to be punished by him. Show those things you found about her, those secret things, all but what she has with her. This being done, let the law go whistle. I warrant you.
Very wise puppies.
Well, let us to the king. There is that in this fardel will make them scratch his beard.
I know not what this impediment and this complaint may be to the flight of my master.
Pray heartily he be at palace.
Though I am not naturally honest, I am so sometimes by chance. Let me pocket up my peddler's excrement. How now, rustics? Whither you are bound?
To the palace, and like your worship.
Your affairs there. What, with whom, the condition of the fardel, the place of your dwelling, your names, your ages, of what having, breeding, and anything that is fitting to be known, discover.
We are but plain fellows, sir.
A lie. You are rough and hairy.
Are you a courtier, and it like you, sir?
Whether it like me or no, I am a courtier. Seest thou not the air of the court in these unfoldings? Hath not my gait in it the measure of the court? Receives not thy nose court odour from me? Reflect I not on the baseness court contempt? Thinkest you, for that I insinuate or toes from thee thy business, I am therefore no courtier? I am courtier, que papi, and one that will either push on or pluck back thy business there, whereupon I command thee to open thy affair.
Well, my business, sir, is to the king.
What advocate hast thou to him?
Oh, no, not. And it like you.
This cannot be but a great courtier.
His garments are rich, but he wears them not handsomely.
He seems to be the more noble in being fantastical. A great man, I'll warrant.
The fardel there. What's the fardel? Wherefore that box?
Sir, there lies such secrets in this fardel and box which none must know but the king, and which he shall know within the hour, if I may come to the speech of it.
The king is not at the palace. He has gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy and air himself. For if thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief.
Well, so 'tis said, sir, about his son that should have married a shepherd's daughter.
If that shepherd be not in hand fast, let him fly. The curses he shall have, the tortures he shall feel.
Think you so, sir?
An old sheep-whistling rogue, a ram tenderer, to offer to have his daughter come into grace. Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him. I say, draw our throne onto a sheep coat. All deaths are too few, the sharpest too easy.
Has the old man there a son, sir? Do you hear? And it like you, sir?
He has a son who shall be flayed alive, then anointed over with honey, set on the head of a wasp's nest, then stand still till he be 3/4 and drowned dead, then recovered again with aquavita or some such hot fusion, then raw as he is, and in the hottest day prognostication proclaims, shall be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, where he is to behold him with flies blown to death. But what talk we of these traitory rascals, whose miseries are to be smiled at, their offences being so capital? Tell me, for you seem to be honest, plain men, what you have to the king. Being something gently considered, I'll bring you where he is aboard, tender your persons to his presence, whisper him in your behalfs, and if it be in man besides the king to effect your suits, here is man, shall do it.
He seems to be of great authority. Close with him, give him gold. Remember, stoned and flayed alive.
And it please you, sir, to undertake the business for us. Here is that gold I have.
Oh, comfort, good comfort. We must to the king and show our strange sights. He must know 'tis none of your daughter nor my sister. We are gone else. Sir, I will give you as much as this old man does when the business is performed, and remain, as he says, your pawn till it be brought you.
I will trust you.
We are blessed in this man, as I may say, even blessed.
Lest before us he bids us, he was provided to do us good.
If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer me. She drops booties in my mouth. I am courted now with double occasion, gold and a means to do my prince, my master good, which who knows how that may come back to my advancement. I will bring these 2 moles, these blind ones, aboard him. If he think it fit to shore them again, and that the complaint they have to the king concerns him nothing, let him call me rogue for being so far officious, for I am proof against that title, and what shame else belongs to it. Yeah, to him I will present them. There may be matter in it.
Slave to the passing fads and other people's views. Slave to TV and its own version of truth. Slave to your wants, your hopes and all your other needs. Slave to the stupid things you like to believe. You'll try so hard, but you just can't lose. The secret's real, material cool. Don't try to fight it, it's what we all do. The secret's real, material cool. It's material. It's material. It's material. It's material.
You make which you have not redeemed. Indeed, paid down more penitence than done trespass. At the last, do as the heavens have done, forget your evil, and with them forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so that Elicit hath made my kingdom and destroyed the sweetest companion that ever man put his son of.
True. Too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the all that I took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
Yeah, I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so, but thou strikest me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thought now. Oh, good, now say so but seldom.
Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider what dangers by his highness fail of issue may drop upon his kingdom and devour in certain lookers on.
There is none worthy. Respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes, for has not the divine Apollo said, is not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? Which that it shall is all as monstrous to our human reason as my Antigonus to break his grave and come again to me, who on my like did perish with the infant. 'Tis your counsel, my lord, should the heavens be contrary, oppose against their wills. Care not for issue, the crown will find an heir. Great Alexander left his to the worthiest, so his successor was like to be the best.
Good Paulina, who has the memory of Hermione, I know in honour all that ever I have squared me to thy counsel then. Even now I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes and taken treasure from her lips.
And left them more rich from what they yielded.
Thou speakst truth. No more such wives, therefore no wife. One worse and better used would make her stained, sainted spirit again possess a corpse. And on this stage where we're offenders now appear soul vexed and begin, why to me?
Will you swear never to marry, but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina. So be blessed my spirit.
Then good, my lords, bear witness to his oath. Unless another, as like Hermione as is her picture affront his eye.
Oh, good madam.
I have done. Yet, if my lord will marry, if you will, sir, no remedy but you will give me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be so young as was your former, but she shall be such as walked in your first queen's ghost. It should take joy to see her in your arms.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen's again in breath, and never till then.
One that gives himself out, Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess. She, the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high presence.
What with him? He comes not like to his father's greatness. His approach so out of circumstance and sudden tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What train?
But few, and those but mean.
His princess, you say, with him?
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that e'er the sun shone bright on. Women will love her that she is a woman more worth any man. Men, that she is the rarest of all women.
Go, Cleomenes, yourself, assisted with your honoured friends, bring them to our embracement. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he had paired well with this lord. There was not a full moon a month between their births.
Pity no more. Cease. Thou knowest he dies to me again when talked of. Your mother was most true to wedlock, Prince, for she did print your royal father off conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hid in you, his very heir, that I should call you brother, as I did him, and speak of you something wildly by us performed before. Most dearly welcome. And your fair princess. Goddess. Oh, alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood begetting wonder as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all mine own folly, the society, amity of your brave father, whom, though bearing misery, I desire my life once more to look upon him.
By his command have I here touched Sicilia, and from him give you all the greetings that a king, a friend, can send his brother. But infirmity, which waits upon worn times, hath something seized his wished ability. He had himself the lands and waters twixt your throne and his measured to look upon you, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the sceptres and those that bear them living.
Oh, my God, brother, good gentleman, that the wrongs I have done thee stir afresh within me, and these thy officers so really kind are as interpreters of my behind-back slackness. Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth. The blessed gods purge all infection from our air whilst you do climate here. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless. And your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been? Might I, a son and daughter, now have looked on such goodly things as you?
My noble sir, that which I shall report will bear no credit, were not the proof so nigh. Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me, desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia?
Here, in your city. I came from him. I speak amazedly. It becomes my marvel and my message. To your court, whilst he was hastening in the chase, it seems, of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Well, thou hast betrayed me, whose honour and whose honesty till now had endured all weathers.
Laid to his charge, he's with the king, your father.
Who? Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I spake with him, who now has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears, threatens them with diverse deaths in death.
My poor father, the heavens set spies upon us, will not have our contract celebrated.
You're married?
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first, the odds for highs and lows alike.
Is this, my lord, the daughter of a king?
She is, and once she is my wife.
So that once I see by your good father's speed will come on very slowly. I am sorry, most sorry you have broken from his liking where you were tied in duty, and sorry your choice is not so rich in worth as beauty, that you might well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible and enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves.
But
beseech you, sir, remember since you owed no more to time than I do now, and with thought of such affections, step forth mine advocate. At your request my father will grant precious things as trifles.
Well, would he do so? I beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much use in it. Not a month for your queen died, she was more worth such gazes than what you look on now.
Well, I thought on her, even in these looks I made. But Florizel, your petition is yet unanswered. I will to your father. Your honour not o'erthrown by your desires, I am friend to them and you, upon which errand I now go toward him. Therefore follow me, and mark what way I make. Good, my lord.
Beseech you, sir, were you present at this relation?
I was by at the opening of the Fardel, heard the old shepherd deliver the manor, how we found it, whereupon, and after a little amazedness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Oh, this methought, I heard the shepherd say he found the child.
I would most gladly know the issue of it.
Oh, I make a broken delivery of the business. But the changes I perceived in the king and Camillo were very notes of admiration. They seemed almost staring on one another to tear the cases of their eyes. There was speech in their dumbness, languid in every gesture. They looked as they had heard of a world ransomed or one destroyed. A notable passion of wonder appeared in them, but the wisest beholder, that knew no more but seeing, could not say if the importance were joy or sorrow. But in the extremity of the one, it must needs be. Oh, here comes a gentleman, but happily knows more. The news, Dion?
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Such a deal of wonder is broken out within this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here comes Lady Paulina's steward. He can deliver you more. How now, Cleomenes? This news which is called true, so is like an old tale, that the verity is so strong in suspicion. Has the king found an heir?
Most true, if ever truth were pregnant by circumstance. That which you hear, you'll swear you see. There is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione's, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, which they know to be his character, the majesty of the creature and semblance of the mother, the affection of nobleness which nature shows above her breeding, and many other evidences proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Oh, then you have lost a sight, which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There might you have beheld one joy crown another. So, and in such manner that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waded in tears. There was casting up of eyes, holding up of hands, with countenances of such distraction that they were to be known by garments, not by favour. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter, as if that joy were now become a loss, cries, "Oh, thy mother, thy mother!" And then asks Bohemia forgiveness, then embraces his son-in-law, then again worries he is his daughter with clipping her. Now he thanks the old shepherd, which stands by like a weather-bitten conduit of many kings' reigns. I never heard of such another encounter, which lames report to follow it and undoes description to do it.
What, pray you, became of Antigonus that carried the child hence?
Like an old tale still, which will have matter to rehearse, though credit be asleep and not an ear open. He was torn to pieces with a bear. This avouches the shepherd's son, who has not only his innocence, which seems much to justify him, but a handkerchief and rings of his that Paulina knows.
What became of his bark and his followers?
Erect the same instance of their master's death and in the view of the shepherd, so that all of the instruments which aided to expose the child were even then lost when it was found. But, oh, the noble combat that twixt joy and sorrow was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband and another elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth and so locks her in embracing, as if she would pin her to her heart that she might no more be in danger of losing.
The dignity of this act was worth the audience of kings and princes, for by such was it acted. Are they returned to the court?
Yes. The princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece many years in doing and now newly performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, who had he himself eternity and could put breath into his work, would beguile nature of her custom so perfectly he is her ape. He's so near to Hermione have done Hermione that they would say one would speak to her and stand of hope of answer. Thither with all greediness of affection are they gone, and they intend there to sup.
I thought she had some great matter there in hand, for she hath privately twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that part of the palace. Shall we go thither, and with our company piece the rejoicing?
Let's along.
Now, had I not the dash of my former life in me, would preferment drop on my head. I brought the man and his son aboard the Prince, told him I heard them talk of the Fardel and I know not what, but at the time over fond of the shepherd's daughter, so he then took her to be, who began much seasick and himself a little better. Extremity of weather continuing, this mystery remains undiscovered, but 'tis all one to me, for had I been a finder of this secret, it would not have relished among my other discredits. Oh, here comes those I have done good to against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune.
Come, boy. Yeah? I'm past more children, but thy sons and daughters shall all be gentlemen born.
You are well met, sir. You denied to fight with me this other day because I was no gentleman born. See you these clothes? Say you see them not, and think me still no gentleman born? You were best say these robes are not gentleman born. Give me the lie, do, and try whether I am not now a gentleman born. I know you are now, sir, a gentleman born. I humbly beseech you, sir, to pardon me all to the faults I have committed to your worship, and to give me your good report to the prince my master.
Prithee, son, do, for we must be gentle, now we are gentlemen.
Thou wilt amend thy life? Aye, and it like your good worship. Give me thy hand. I will swear to the prince thou art as honest a true fellow as any is in Bohemia. I will prove so, sir, to my power. Hark! The kings and the princes our kindred are going to see the queen's picture. Come, follow us. We'll be thy good masters.
Ah, my lady.
O grave and good Paulina, the great comfort that I have had of thee.
What sovereign, sir? I did not well, I meant well.
Oh, Paulina, we honour you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, not without much content in many singularities, But we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, excels whatever you looked upon or hand of mouth had done. Therefore, I keep it lonely, apart. But here it is, prepared to see the life as lively mocked as ever, still sleep mock death, behold and say, 'tis well. I like your silence. It the more shows off your wonder, but yet speak. First you, my liege. Comes it not something near?
A natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed thou art Hermione. Or rather, thou art she in thy not chiding, for she was as tender as infancy and grace. But yet, Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled. Nothing so aged as this seems?
Oh, not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years and makes her as she lived now.
As now she might have been so much to my good comfort, as it is now piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood, even with such life of majesty, warm life as now it coldly stands, when first I wooed her. I'm ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than her? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy admiring daughter took the spirits standing like stone with thee.
Give me leave. Do not say 'tis superstition that I kneel and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen, what ended when I but began. Give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience. The statue is but newly fixed. Colours not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away. So many summers dry, scarce any joy. Did ever so long live, no sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let him that was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you, as he will peace up in himself.
Indeed, my lord. If I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have showed it. No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy may think anon it moves.
Let it be, let it be. Would I were dead. But that methinks already. What was he that did make it? See, my lord, would you not deem it breathes? And that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye has motion in it. As we are mocked by art.
I shall remove it. My lord's almost so far transported that he'll think anon it lives.
Sweet Paulina, make me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness. Let it alone.
I'm sorry, sir. I have thus far stirred you, but I could afflict you farther.
Do, Paulina. For this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still methinks there is an air comes from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut breath? Let no man mock me. I will kiss her.
Good, my lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it. Stain your own with oily painting.
Oh, so long could I stand by and look her on.
Either forbear, quit presently the chapel, or resolve you for more amazement. If you can behold it, I'll make the statue move indeed, descend, and take you by the hand, and then you'll think, which I protest against, I am assisted by wicked powers.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to speak, I am content to hear, for 'tis as easy to make him speak as move.
It is required you do awake your faith. Then all stand still. On those that think it is unlawful business I am about, let them depart.
Proceed. No foot shall stir.
Music, awake her, strike. 'Tis time. Descend, be stone no more. Approach, strike all that look upon with marvel. Come, I'll fill your grave. Sir, nay, come away. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from him, dear, life redeems you. You perceive she stirs. Start not. Her action shall be holy as you hear my spell is lawful. Do not shun her until you see her die again, for then you kill her double. Nay, present your hand. When she was young, you wooed her. Now in age, has she become the suitor?
She's warm. If this be magic, let it be an art lawful as eating.
She embraces him.
Oh, she hangs about his neck. If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and make it manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead.
That she is living were it but told you should be hooted at like an old tale. But it appears she lives, though yet she speak not. Mark a little while, please, yet to impose. Fair madam, kneel and pray your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady, our Perdita is found.
You gods, look down, and from your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Tell me, mine own, where hast thou been preserved? Where lived? How found thy father's court? For thou shalt hear that I, knowing by Paulina that the oracle gave hope thou wast in being, have preserved myself to see the issue.
There's time enough for that, lest they desire upon this push to trouble your joys with like relation. Go together, you precious winners all. Your exaltation partake to everyone. I, an old turtle, will wing me to some withered bough, and there my mate, that's never to be found again, lament till I'm lost.
Oh, peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst a husband take by my consent, as I by thine a wife. This is a match, and made between us by vows. Thou hast found mine, but how? It is to be questioned, for I saw her, as I thought, dead, and have in vain said many a prayer upon her grave. I'll seek not far for him, I partly know his mind, to find thee an honourable husband. Come, Camillo, and take him by the hand, whose worth and honesty is richly noted and here justified by us, a pair of kings. Let us from this place. What? Look upon my brother. Both your pardons that e'er I put between your holy looks my ill suspicion. This is your son-in-law, and son unto the king, who, heaven's directing his troth plight to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us from hence, where we may leisurely each one demand an answer to his part performed in this wide gap of time since first we were dissevered. Hastily, lead away!
And now, please give a big round of applause for the Sicilians. Keep those applause going, because we need another round of applause for the Bohemians. Last but not least, please thank all the people behind the scenes who've brought this lovely play to your screens. The creatives, the technical, and the production teams.
Hi, I'm Holly Champion. I'm Artistic Director of Stream Shakespeare, and I'm the director of today's show. Thank you so much for watching The Winter's Tale, and we hope you enjoyed it just as much as we had fun making it. Stream Shakespeare will be continuing to present live stream staged readings of Shakespeare's works every Sunday. except for next Sunday when we are having a short break and instead hosting Shakespeare Trivia. And if you enjoyed The Winter's Tale, don't miss Hamlet, which will be directed by our wonderful Leontes today, Charles Mayer. And Hamlet will be live streaming from 2 p.m. Sydney time on the 31st of May. Don't forget to share and like this video and follow Stream Shakespeare on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, or at www.streamshakespeare.com. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Bye now, and see you all next week.